Like, is a marathon.
Oh, wait a second.
It's not a sprint. You ever heard that before?
That's why I finished fourth in the sausage race last night. I thought the race was
a
much
marathon.
longer.
No, it was a sprint.
Oh, I didn't know. Talk to you tomorrow after 2 on the Mike Heller Show.
So, Madison. Celebrating its 31st season, the Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program, held in front of a live audience. Join the racing crowd right now for tonight's live broadcast at Polly's Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Now, it's time for your weekly look at the local racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports. Coming to you live in Milwaukee on the Big 920, in Madison on the Big 1070, and worldwide on iHeartRadio. Here's your host for the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. We are live at Pauly's next week. Right now, we're live celebrating Cinco de Mayo at Friends on Forest Home. Cinco de Frenzo, if you will. Thanks to Jeff and Patty and Susie and the whole gang. We've got a great show planned for you tonight. Come on down and join us, 56th and Forest Home. Google it on the maps thing, Jiggy. Look on 894 to 60th Street. Go north to Forest Home. East 3 blocks, you'll see the race cars and all the race cars parked out front. Thanks to the race teams that are sponsored by friends that are here tonight. We'll talk to a bunch of the racers on the show this evening. And in the next 90 minutes on the Big 1070 in Madison, on the Big 920 in Milwaukee, and on our fancy camera coverage, HD, on our webcast, thanks to Rapina's Fine Foods just up the road on 76th and Beloit Road, and rapinas.com. We've got cameras pointed at the crowd, pointed at me, pointed at the guests on the show. Just go to racingroundup.net to see how that's going down and see it when you feel like it, because we'll archive it and show it right back on there and click it over to YouTube as well. We've got a great program for you this evening. We're talking to the winner of the Joe Shear Classic on Sunday. It was a special win for a lot of reasons. His name is Johnny Sauter, now a Wisconsin resident, heading off to Kansas to contend for his first NASCAR Camping World Truck Series title. We'll talk to Johnny about his big win and the move back to Wisconsin and how much fun he's having as he is, again, racing as often as he cares to in the state he loves. We're also going to have the NASCAR report brought to our friends at Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. I saw Steve Anderson on the grid at Talladega on Saturday. Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup is sponsoring Regan Smith this year, and hopefully we'll have Regan on one of the upcoming shows. But I talked to Steve. They're very busy in Cumberland, Wisconsin. We want to thank them again for their support of our NASCAR report each and every week here on the Racing Roundup Show. Joe Bongiorno has made a splash in the world of Legends Racing. We'll see how he's doing as a rookie contender in the Slinger Late Model Division. Joe's car is sitting right out front. We'll talk to Joe as well, and looking forward to catching up with him during the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report with Dean Strom. Dave Coleman of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, you've read his stuff for 20-some years. Well, he's going to swing on by. We'll talk to Dave about how things are going and what he's looking forward to this summer as the month of May is cooking up, heating up, and, of course, July is when the Indy cars come to Milwaukee, and all things he chats about and continues to keep us updated about. We are fortunate to have a motorsports writer of the caliber of Dave Coleman. He'll be on our program here at Friends as well. And we're also talking, as I mentioned, race drivers. Scott Cuxhouse is here. Jeff Tondrick bought his beautiful number 9. Lee Sones is here. We're going to talk to those guys on the program as well. They're sponsored by Friends. They also want you to cheer for them at the racetrack, find out more about what they do on this program. And we're also going to talk to Hayward Wagner. He's the Director of Experiential Programs for SCCA. There's a Track Night America coming, driven by Tire Rack, to the Milwaukee Mile on May 14th. We'll tell you more about that. You don't need a race car. You need a helmet, you need a street car, and you need to listen closely to what they instruct you to do. You'll actually learn how to drive better on the street and learn more about maybe high-performance racing and maybe testing the limits on the racetrack with your very own street car. Again, it's the SCCA Track Night America at the Milwaukee Mile, May 14th. We'll talk to Hayward Wagner about that. Full program just straight ahead here. We're live at Friends on Forest Home, 56 in Forest Home. You may have known it as BB Rebels. We know it as a great place to hang out with Jeff and Patty. You come in as a stranger, leave as a friend. We hope to join you here this evening. Come on down. Free food, great giveaways, and the caution flag special where they get a trophy handed to someone during a caution flag on Sundays during NASCAR races. Well, guess what? During our show, come in, we'll give you a little ticket, and you can have a beverage of your choice for free until the next commercial break if your number is drawn. Kind of fun stuff. You need to be here to be part of it. Great giveaways all show long and after the show. Come on down and join us. We're live at 56th and Forest Home. Friends on Forest Home. This is the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee in the Big 920. And I'm Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Add beauty and value to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team of professionals at Central Services is the personal choice of over 30 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin with landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs.
Okay, friends, listen up. We are in commercial break, and this is the winning ticket number for the trophy. You drink free and get a prize of your choice from behind the bar until our next commercial. Blue ticket, last three numbers here at Friends, 667. 667's a winner. Make some noise. There she is.
Regarding your landscape,
find the trophy. Jeff, come on over by Jeff behind the bar. He'll get you set up with a prize, and she gets to have the trophy and hang out and have the beverage of her choice until the next commercial. Hang around. We got a lot more fun stuff coming.
Or toll free at 1-800-236-LAWN. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Is your business compliant with federal and state regulations? Are you sure? Business materials containing data about your employees or customers could potentially be legal liabilities. Eliminate the risk. Get compliant and sleep better. Call Piranha Paper Shredding. Piranha Paper Shredding gives your business safe, secure, complete, and green destruction of your company's sensitive information. Piranha Paper Shredding is your information destruction expert. Safe, secure, and complete information destruction is your business's best defense. Call 800-808-6577 or visit piranhapapershredding.com.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel are experts in automotive repair. From minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. For 23 years, Oak Creek Automotive has Milwaukee's South Side covered when it comes to know-how and automotive repair. Call Oak Creek Automotive at 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Fridays, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Head to Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel for all your auto repair needs.
Friends on Forest Home is the new name for BB Rubbles at 56th and Forest Home, and the tradition of the trophy is back. When there's a caution flag during Sunday NASCAR races, if your number's drawn, you get the trophy and drink for free until the next caution flag. New owners Jeff and Patty are carrying on the NASCAR tradition in a remodeled, fun atmosphere with $2 tappers and beer bucket specials during the races. Friends on Forest Home at 56th and Forest Home wants to sponsor your league team. See Jeff for details. Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar is now called Friends on Forest Home.
Hey, we're back on the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us here on this Tuesday evening. We're live at Friends on Forest Home, 56th and Forest Home. Come on down and by all means spend every chance you get here. They've got a lot of flat screens, great sports teams. They want to sponsor your sports team, so talk to Jeff or Patty or some of the friendly staff here at Friends on Forest Home. Where this entire show will be taking place on Cinco de Frenzo. Hey, want to let you know, Road America will really step things up in a big way. Just announced this week they've got new permanent placed video boards, HD screens in Turn 1, Turn 3, Turns 7 and 8, and Turns 12. That's 4 big screens across the place. Brand new HD feeds. They've improved access and viewing along areas Turns 11 and 12. They've got the tiered seating now. They have new video boards, as I mentioned. They resurfaced now the track as well. In portions of the track. New pavement was added to Turns 5, 6, 8, and 14. There are no changes to the width of the racing surface, but they thought they'd get a jump on things as the first weekend is approaching quickly. George Bruggenthie's guarantees the track will be ready for the May 15 through 17 Sports Car Vintage Racing Association Spring Vintage Weekend. Again, it's at Road America. Find out more at roadamerica.com. Millions of dollars being spent so you can have a better time, and the racing can get even better at the Road America. Nowhere is quite like it. roadamerica.com is where you want to go to find out more information there. This past weekend kicked off the ARCA Midwest Tour and a very big race at Madison International Speedway to kick off the new regime with Greg McCarnes at the controls. And certainly looking at the stiff competition and the drivers we talked to the last couple of weeks, they were saying, man, it's going to be tough. All these guys are coming. Well, one driver that took away that beautiful Wearer's Machine special trophy for the Joe Shear Classic now joins us on the phone. He lives just north of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin these days. He's also a driver that races in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series full-time. But we love his hobby, and he loves it too, and he won this past Sunday. Let's welcome in Joe Shear Jr.'s favorite friend and best friend ever, Johnny Sauter. Hey, Johnny, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
I wanted to say it that way because that had to be a huge win. You and Joe have done so many things together, and the race named the Joe Shear Classic had to be extra cool to bag.
No, it was, and it was, one of those races that I think everybody wants to win. So, it's just kind of cool how it all goes down. Madison's a racetrack that I didn't really get to race at a whole lot, when I was living here originally, I guess, the first time around. So it was just a place that I think this last Sunday's race was probably only the 5th time that I can remember racing there when I think back, in the 15 years that I've been racing and doing all that stuff. So, like you said, the relationship I have with Joe Jr. and I think everybody in the Wisconsin community respects Joe Scheer Sr. and all his accomplishments. I know there's a million times I was at Madison Speedway hanging on the fence watching Joe, pound everybody into the ground. So it was just really cool to get that win, and it's just extra special for me because it's a big race, and I haven't raced there a lot, so it was really cool to get that. And you mentioned Greg McKearns and taking over the Tour, so that's cool too to be the inaugural winner for him.
And when it comes to it, Johnny, you were Joe Scheer-esque on Sunday. I was unable to be there because I was in Talladega, but take us through how the preparation went and how you got to be so fast and lead as many laps as you did on Sunday.
Well, the first thing that happened is I kind of screwed up qualifying. If you want to know the truth, I like to go as fast as I can a lot of times when it comes to qualifying, and my little How car has qualified really well everywhere I've been, and I think this is the worst I've qualified with it in the last couple of years. So that kind of worked out in my favor with the roll of the dice and whatnot. We got pretty good track position at the start of the race, and I knew when I ran that little heat race and I won that my car was working really good. And I've always had it working really well for the short run stuff, but I've always given up a little bit at the other end. So I've been working pretty hard on making sure I can maintain a good pace and keep the car underneath me, and that's what I focused on pretty hard there this weekend. And it paid off. I really felt like I had a good handling car and felt like I had the car to beat Sunday or Saturday afternoon when I practiced just for an hour and a half or whatever it was. So just work hard at it, and it's a car that we keep right here at the house, and I got a couple buddies that I've met in the area now that come over and help every now and then. But for the most part, it's just I just love short track racing. It's just something that I can't get out of my system, and I got a couple local people here that help me out at the Enterprises, and custom gearing machine out of Rock or down by Left-Hander there. So just a lot of cool people, and it's fun.
Speaking of Johnny Sauter again, his golf game is short track racing, and was that also a reason why you moved back to Wisconsin? I know your young family, you wanted to bring them closer to more family. Your wife Courtney, of course, and the kids are getting to be school age. Was that a big decision, or was it a decision you guys knew you were going to do because now you get to go racing? You don't have to tow 15 hours to go short track racing where you want to here in your home state.
Yeah, I was joking with old Vic Getzloff. He did tires for Trickle for so many years, and and I became really close with Vic when we won the ASA championship in 01, and he was, racing with me, short track racing, over the last couple of years, and I'd always drag him with me from North Carolina, and we'd ride up together, and he called me after the Dells a couple weeks ago when I got a flat tire in the race, and eventually I just had some trouble, so I ended up pulling off the racetrack. But I told him, I said, Vic, the best part about this is I don't have 16 hours to think about it on the way home. I'll be home in 35 minutes. So, ultimately the biggest decision for us to move back was the kids, for sure. Getting them closer to not only my family but her family, and the school system where we're going to be able to place them is really good here. So, I'm a Wisconsin guy at heart, always have been, and I always knew ultimately that I would get back to Wisconsin, just didn't know when, and it kind of happened faster than I thought it was going to. We were looking really, really hard at trying to find some property, and a couple of the deals we tried to make happen just didn't happen. So we ended up finding a place, and we were both really, really happy with it. And, kind of went biggity bam. It was like one day I was living in North Carolina, and the next day I'm living in Wisconsin. So I'm really happy, though. I have no regrets, and the kids are really digging into it, so it's cool.
And you had the envy of all of us because you found a property that had a pole barn on it. You could finish the way you wanted. Your wife told me she gets to worry about what the house looks like. You get to worry what the shop looks like. Is it to where you want it right now, Johnny?
The shop was the first thing that we did, believe it or not. When we closed on the house, I had people, in here right away working on getting the shop where it needed to be because, I just have a lot of stuff and shop equipment and wanted to get my late models moved out of my place down there and get them up here as fast as I could. So, we went to work on that right away and finished it off. And lo and behold, the house that we found had a shop on it. It was the exact same size as my shop in North Carolina. So we got to finish this one out, basically, and finish it off kind of the way that we wanted to. And so I'm really happy with all that. So the house that's her job. She can handle that however she wants to. But, I've spent plenty of hours in the shop already and plan on spending plenty more, I hope.
You've had some time off from the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Just the fourth race of the season is this coming Friday night at Kansas Speedway. You've won there. They repaved the track since. You've had some really strong runs there, Johnny, but it seems like you're in the middle of things. You're running top 5 or you're running top 5 and somebody gets into you. What are you thinking about this coming Friday night when you get back in that truck and get more racing in after this spring layoff?
Well, I mean, it's been 6 weeks, so it seems like an eternity. And I was actually last week, early in the week, I was in Ohio at the race shop, just trying to, it's hard when you've got a 6-week break to keep your head around things and things that we maybe had learned at Atlanta, another 1.5-mile racetrack that would maybe apply to some of the stuff we'll do at Kansas. But Kansas is a tough place, obviously with the new pavement with the trucks. You run wide open, and even though it sounds easy to run wide open, the balance has to be just right. Not only at the beginning of a run, but at the end of the run, to be fast for the long haul. So, there's just so many things about your setup that will change to go to a place. There's 2 places on our schedule that we run real similar setups. One is Michigan and Kansas, because they're both, bigger racetracks with, new pavement, so they have a lot of grip. But, technology's changing so much and setups are changing so much that, kind of the stuff that we ran a couple years ago and you could lock into and feel comfortable with has really changed in the last 6 months, I would say. So, I talked to my crew chief today, and we're going to kind of go with an alternate package to Kansas and see how we run. So it's exciting. I mean, that kind of racing is also a lot of fun for me, and I really enjoy it. And we've had some success, like you said, at Kansas. So this kicks off 6 of the next 8 weeks, I think, with truck racing. So I'm excited to get going on that as well.
So before we turn you loose, when will you get back to that short track race car? Whether it be shining up on a Tuesday night, listening to the show on the Big 1070, or getting it on the racetrack? When will we see you next in that white 5 on the racetrack around here?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of people have been asking me that. I don't know. I mean, I've had my heart set on trying to race as much as I can wherever I can. A place that I've never raced at before is Swinger. And my father-in-law has been wearing me out about getting up there. So I definitely got the Swinger National circled on my calendar for this year. I've never been there, never raced there. So I went there last year, sat in the stands, and watched the race. But I don't know. I'll probably have to try to sneak out there on a Sunday night and just race with the local guys a little bit, try to get my arms around that place. And obviously the Dixieland 250 at Kakana is another one that I got circled on the calendar. But I don't know for sure right now. I got to kind of look at it all and see where it shakes out. But, I'd like to chase that red, white, and blue deal if I can at Kakana and just try to hit as many racetracks as I can. I just, it's kind of hard to. I've been away for so long, I don't know all the big races on the short track calendar right now, so I got to get my arms around all that.
Well, you certainly put them on notice on Sunday that when you show up, you will be a contender in the Joe Shear fashion. When Joe pulled in the pits, as you know, people are saying, man, how can I finish second? Because I know he's got us covered, and you did that on Sunday. So congratulations, well-earned victory. The Chad Wares Design Wares Machining Trophy that goes to the Joe Shear Classic is yours to look at. We hope to see you again very soon. We wish you the best of luck this weekend as well. How about I stand for Johnny Sauter joining us here on the phone? Thank you, Johnny. We wish you well this weekend, and the next time you get in that short track car, man, kick some more tail.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you having me as always. It's been too long, and hope everybody's having a good time tonight.
We are. Thanks, Johnny, for your time as well, as he's getting ready to go to Kansas this weekend. He actually said he was on the way to the Brewer game last night, so think about it. He moves his young family to Wisconsin. He's a big Brewers fan, and he gets to go short track racing, wins the race on Sunday, Brewers game Monday, and focuses back on the NASCAR trucks on Friday when he has to get there on Thursday. They actually are on track this Thursday afternoon for a couple of practice sessions at Kansas for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, which takes us into our NASCAR report, brought to you by Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, our proud Wisconsin family business and NASCAR race team sponsor of Junior Motorsports and driver Regan Smith. It's made right here in Wisconsin and available at your favorite store. Anderson's Maple Syrup, pure quality for over 85 years. We'll go back to Talladega before we talk more about Kansas. Saturday's NASCAR Xfinity Series race ended in thrilling fashion on Saturday at Talladega. Joey Logano led the train on the bottom lane in the race's closing moments. Rising Xfinity star Chris Buescher tucked right along Logano on the outside, leading the long outside lane. They were even all the way around the track with 2 laps to go. The last 7 laps really were nail-biting Talladega close quarters racing for that matter. But ultimately, just a move off of the yellow line by about a foot in turn 3 by the car tucked in behind Logano spoiled Buescher's charge that he had a dip to the right just a second. Just a brief moment. It stalled Buescher's car, who was forced high, and then the race was on for second. That one move allowed Logano to escape from the rest of the field to the checkers, and the fanned-out scramble to the finish line through Talladega's trioval for second on back. It was Logano becoming the only repeat Xfinity race winner in the season's 9 races to date. Brian Scott ran second. Pole sitter Austin Dillon chased up to third. J.J. Yaley fourth, and Jimmy Means Racing with Dale Jr.'s scuffed practice tires ran fifth, with Joey Gase bringing home the best finish for that team and the young driver out of Iowa. Buescher recovered to finish 6th. Steve Anderson's, as I talked about, He was on Regan Smith's pit box during the race. He ended up watching his driver finish in 9th and stay within a sniff of the point lead. In the Cup Series, big news today. Richard Petty Motorsports making their first move, saying we're not getting fast enough with the number 9 car. We're making a change. It's about chemistry. They're moving Drew Blickenstorfer to wherever he wants to go in the shop. They've offered him a position off the pit box as the crew chief for Sam Hornish Jr. The number 9 has hired Kevin Bono Mannion. He was with Jamie McMurray for a long time. Last year, I believe, was at the Tommy Baldwin Racing. This year he was again with Alex Bowman. So Bono is now on the pit box starting this weekend at Kansas. They said it's due to chemistry. They've got some issues with shorter tracks. I talked to a crew member at Talladega on the grid. I said, have you guys found the handle? Because it certainly wasn't in the drawer, wasn't on the drawer when it was short track racing. He said, we'll be fine. So perhaps they knew something we didn't. And by the way, they finished 6th in the Cup race on Sunday. Not enough to keep Drew Blickenstorfer at the top of the box. In Sunday's race at Talladega, it was a toss-up, which is greater, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s passion for Talladega Superspeedway or Talladega's fan base passion for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Every time I mention Dale's name on the microphone over the PA and on the new ginormous Sprint Vision screens they have at Talladega, the crowd went nuts, if you anticipate. If you recall, 1 year ago, Dale beat himself up and apologized to the fans for not racing at the front. He said, I raced in the back. I didn't have time to get to the front. I feel bad. I shouldn't do that anymore. Well, he didn't do that on Sunday. He raced up front and was there the entire race. Earnhardt was ahead of the big one on lap 47 when Trevor Baynes Ford spun after losing air off the rear due to close proximity to Kurt Busch's Chevy on the backstretch. That crash affected a whole number of cars, including David Reagan, Greg Biffle, Casey Kane, who started second. And unlike many Talladega races, the final 24 laps were essentially run in a single-file parade, first with a 10-car string, then ultimately caught up by a line of another 20 cars. Tony Stewart was actually right in the middle of all of that, and he said, you know what? I tried to make a move, and nobody went with me. I don't know why you want to finish 13th in the single-file line, but he had no choice but to go right back up and get back in line at the finish. Jimmy Johnson said he had to drag the brake to kind of get the car behind him to tuck in for a run on position 1, Dale Jr., when they were running second and third, but that never materialized either. At the white flag, Johnson did run second. Denny Hamlin was in the mix as well. Ryan Blaney, best ever finish for Wood Brothers with that young driver, did not make a move. Some said he could have made a move sooner. Some think Jimmy might have blocked for Dale to get him in the chase, but Jimmy said he flat out couldn't get anybody to go with him to get by Junior, and Junior certainly, if you look at the in-car camera footage during the race or on one of those special shows, NASCAR America on NBC Sports or NASCAR Race Hub on Fox Sports 1, he was doing a lot of mirror looking those last laps, so Junior knows his way around. 6 times a winner now at Talladega, only second to Dale Sr. and Jeff Gordon's tied now, 6 each. Dale's got 10. What brought out the emotions in Dale Jr., he said it was my dad's birthday. I knew how much this place meant to me. And indeed, it was a very special win for he and his new crew chief, Greg Ives, to bag that and get in the chase with that winner's decal. Paul Menard rallied for a really strong third behind Jimmy Johnson at the finish line. Ryan Blaney was fourth, Martin Truex fifth. Point leader Kevin Harvick had his nose wiped off because Greg Biffle's car was spinning in front of him, clipped it. They recovered from the contact with Biffle and finished the mangled nose in 8th place, another top 10 run for the point leader. If the season ended today, speaking of points, the 16 drivers advancing to the chase for all the race winners. They would include Matt Kenseth and next guys in points that fall in line. Paul Menard, Danica Patrick would be in the chase right now. She's sitting 16th. She'll lose her GoDaddy sponsorship. It was announced this week as well at the end of the season on her NASCAR team. Sitting out would be Carl Edwards, Clint Boyer, Kyle Larson, and Tony Stewart, among others. So we'll see how that progresses here on a 1.5 mile at Kansas for the Sprint Cup Series. And Johnny Sauter in the Truck Series. Head to this Friday and Saturday night racing this weekend. And I'll be there working it with Sprint Vision. Tonight's NASCAR Report was sponsored by Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, a third-generation Wisconsin business, a NASCAR team sponsor. Everything tastes better with an Anderson's Maple Syrup on the menu. Try it in your coffee or tea or even when grilling your favorite foods. Follow Anderson's race team all year long at Anderson'sMapleSyrupRacing.com. We're coming right back. We're talking short track racing. We've got the world of motorsports covered for you. We're live at Friends on Forest Home, 56 and Forest Home. You may know it as Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar. It still is. Jeff and Patty and all the gang are here. Come on down and join us. Great race cars out front as well. Thanks to Jeff Chandra for bringing his car. Thanks to Joe Bongiorno for bringing his late model that he ran this past Sunday at Slinger. Those guys spent a lot of time shining him up. Come on down and show your appreciation for them as well. We're coming right back on these various signals on the Big 1070 and the Big 920. This is the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee around the Big 920. And I'm Madison running the home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
You're not like the rest. While most travel in a cage of steel on 4 wheels, you're doing without the steel and without 2 wheels. While everybody else hides behind a windshield, you welcome the push of air through your hair. You
all right, friends, here we go. Yellow flag commercial special. If your number is drawn, you get a trophy and a prize choice behind the bar. See Jeff, and you drink for free until the next commercial. The number ends in 662. 662. Who are you? Where are you?
Dirt Bike School, Supermoto, and the
Gale is right there. They moved the trophy over 6 inches. All right. Congratulations. Enjoy.
With award-winning instructors, flexible schedules, affordable fees, and a graduation rate of 98%. Once you're done, just go to the DMV, take the computer portion, get your M stamped on your license, and you're set. You also get special dealer support incentives and a Road America t-shirt that shows you mastered your cycle class. Get ready to ride. Visit roadamerica.com for all the details today, or call 1-800-365-7223. That's 1-800-365-RACE.
Rapina's Fine Foods at 76th and Beloit Road in the Westwood Center is one of Milwaukee's finest grocers. Shop a true neighborhood grocer for the finest quality beef, poultry, seafood, and sundries. Rapina's has all your grocery needs. Enjoy fine selection from Rapina's Fresh Bakery and Deli Department. Consider Rapina's catering and special menu planning. Available on their website, rapinas.com. Visit Rapina's Fine Foods at 76th and West Beloit Roads. Rapina's Summit Cafe is now open at 6737 West Washington Street in the Summit Place in Milwaukee. Shop Rapina's Fine Foods at 76th and West Beloit Roads and check out their weekly specials at rapinas.com. Good Day Construction and Property Maintenance is your local source for residential and commercial property upkeep, maintenance, repair, and restoration. Whether it's to keep your property looking good or you need to gut and rebuild from top to bottom, Good Day Construction staff of over 20 qualified tradespeople have you covered. For a free no-obligation quote, contact them at 262-662-2201 or through their website at gooddayconstruction.com.
Trademark Real Estate Company, the full-service real estate brokerage catering to racers and race fans alike. They offer buyers with free property searches and acquisitions when you're looking to buy a home, land, or investment property, and provide full-service listing services to sell your property. If you're looking to buy or sell, contact Dan Church Jr. at 262-751-5311 or check out their services on their website at trademarkrealestatecompany.com.
GDC Heating, Cooling, and Drain Cleaning is the home of the $89 service call. That includes the first hour of troubleshooting, diagnosis, and repair. All makes, all models. Heating, air conditioning, and plumbing drains repaired right the first time at a reasonable price. Mention you heard this on the Racing Roundup Show for a 10% race fan discount. Call 262-662-2201 or go online to gdchvacservices.com.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Friends on Forest Home in Milwaukee, on the Big 920 in Milwaukee and the Big 1070 in Madison. Stay tuned. More of the Racing Roundup Show is on the way right after this.
do.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Racing Roundup program. We are live on this here May 5th program at Friends on Forest Home. Give it up for Patty and Jeff and the whole gang here. We're having a great time. Thank you. They've got a great party room. We're actually hanging out at the pool table because, why not be where everybody can be? But the party room's awesome. If you haven't been to Jeff's and Patty's place called Friends at Forest Home, they did a lot of work when they bought it from Freddie. That was BB Rubbles for a long time. Matter of fact, on this Wall of Fame back here, they've got some photos. They've got some pictures of Teddy Musgrave and Freddie. Well, there's also a picture of this guy named Jeff with a helmet in hand at the NASCAR race experience. Hanging on the wall, framed and everything. Pretty cool. I didn't know you did that, Jeff. That's kind of neat. Yeah, he got a chance to go racing. So that's on this wall, as is our next guest when we get to him. He's got a race car out front as well here at Friends at Forest Home by the name of Joe Bongiorno. He and his dad are going to join us here during the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. I just like saying it. Dean Strom's here to give the goods on what happened in the world of short track racing, and we'll talk to our featured guests in this here segment. Dean, welcome back.
Thanks, Jimmy. This is the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. To select the right business and residential security system for your needs, including alarm systems, closed circuit, and card access, it's a lock. Contact a great Wisconsin short track supporter at 262-790-9400 or go online, bonafidesafe.com. We talked to Johnny Sauter. Of course, he won the ARCA Midwest Tour event at Madison. That was the opener for the ARCA Midwest Tour and the opener for Madison International Speedway.
I never did say who finished second or third.
No, that's why you got me.
Yeah.
So Travis, Johnny's nephew, chased Johnny to the stripe. Johnny pretty much had things under control the whole race, but Travis got to within a couple car lengths there at the end within traffic. He finished second, and Ty Majeski, who was a recent show guest, he finished third. Of course, the defending series champion. Nathan Hosley, Nick Murgic, they rounded out the top five. Chris Weinkoff was a fast qualifier. Tough go of it for Skylar Holshausen, a recent Racing Roundup Show guest. He won his qualifying race, but he was involved in a multi-car incident in the feature's opening laps and was shown 24th in the final rundown. ARCA Midwest Tour now travels to State Park Speedway in 2 weeks, while Madison International Speedway opens up their regular season a week from Friday night. Also at Madison, Tommy Picaro held off Blake Brown to win the 30-lap Midwest Truck main event. That was part of the Joe Shear Classic. Fast qualifier Chester Ace ran third. Young Derek Kraus, a driver we're going to want to keep our eye on as the year progresses.
He's as tall as his pool table, but man, can he wheel it.
He wheeled it to a 7th place finish. Rick Corso, Tommy Picaro, heat race winners. Also on the card Sunday afternoon, the Mid-American Stock Car Series. Defending series champion Jeff Holtz survived a late race restart to take the win over Cody Hubred and Bill Preetzel. Cody Hubred's just his second series start, second time he's been in that type of car, and he comes home second. Of course, Preetzel, the Hall of Famer, going to get inducted into the Southeastern Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Fame later on this year. He was a fast qualifier. Heat wins went to Scott Dunning and Lyle Nowak. Tim Schendel had his race shop and entire race operation lost.
Burned to the ground.
Race season. It burned to the ground, yeah. So it was good with that fresh memory. Good to see Tim Schendel in victory lane Saturday night at Dells Raceway Park, the winner of the Super Late Model main event. Dave Trudy won the Sportsman headliner, Colton Morgan winning the Bandit main event. Madison's Michael Gruenberg bested a stout field of late model pilots to grab his first feature win of the season at Jefferson Speedway. Gruenberg dominated every circuit of the 50-lap main event to get the 2015 season underway in impressive fashion. Jason Toma completed a clean sweep in the Sportsman division, and Seth Reamer picked his way to the front in the 20-lap international feature, scored the victory. Two-time and defending track champion, I should say, and a recent guest, again, on the Racing Roundup Show. We have an early theme here in the 2015 season. Steve Apel, he scored a clean sweep Sunday afternoeen, super late model action at the Slinger Super Speedway. Apel inherited the lead on a restart when Dennis Prunty's machine bobbled. Late race restart, it bobbled. Prunty fell back to fourth. Apel got the lead. The ageless Conrad Morgan finished second. Prunty recovered to finish third. Mike Held set fast time, scored his first ever late model feature win. He was a happy driver indeed. Adam Peshek won the area Sportsman main event in honor of Mother's Day. No action at Slinger Speedway Sunday. They return to action in 2 weeks with the Alan Klowicki Memorial. Turning to the dirt, Plymouth Dirt Track opened up its 2015 campaign this past weekend. Rick Scheffler beat his son Taylor to the stripe to score the late model win. Brad Miller, fourth. Ted Dolan in the house tonight, won a heat and finished fifth.
Nice job,
so
Teddy.
Great run by Teddy. Don Soares Jr. won the Grand National main, and Donnie Gaden picked up right where he left off last year, claiming the win in the 360 sprints. Wilmot Speedway, Philip Mock won the sprint car feature Saturday night over Jeremy Schultz and Dennis Spitz. Mike Simons held off Scott Cuxhouse in the 20-lap modified feature.
Scott's in the house, yes.
Yeah, and his son Cameron was behind the wheel of Chris Carlson's championship-winning car. I guess Cameron's wasn't done, so he got
to Lee Sones about that.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. PF Flyer himself.
Yeah, he won a heat race and then had some problems in the feature. Todd Lear won the non-winged main event in a division brand new to Wilmot Raceway in 2015. And finally, Charlie Cincinnati, a driver who we will have on the show next week, victorious this past Saturday at 141 Speedway.
All he does is win.
All he does is win.
Yep.
Charlie drove to the Grand National win over Milwaukee's Dan Schumacher and Cody Wirtz.
Cool. I think it's Frank Wirtz's grandson.
I think it is.
Yeah.
You want me to do the...
Sure.
This now?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Tonight's Short Track Report brought to you by Bonafide Security Solutions. Raise your security IQ. Learn more about the wide variety of security products, including safes and gun safes, by visiting bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value.
And our Short Track Spotlight is on a number of drivers that we'll have there in the program. Our first guest is actually a 2014 INEX National Legends champion. He had a long deliberation with his father and a lot of input, and they said, you know what, we're going pavement racing. We're going late model racing. We're going to do a start out at Slinger Speedway. Let's welcome in Dad Mike and son Joe, rookie at late models at Slinger Speedway. Buongiorno, guys, welcome.
How's it going?
Hope that nickname doesn't stick. Good to see you guys here. This is exciting, Joe. You were a confident young man 3 years ago saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you accomplished pretty much every goal you had in the Legends. We are sitting here now. A page has turned. How are things going in the progression towards pavement and Slinger and a late model?
Well, I think when we first started out in the Legends, I came on the show and I said the same thing. We don't really know what our expectations are because what we're doing this year is so different from what we did last year. And just our learning curve is so huge with not me just driving the car on asphalt. Before, with the Legend car, I was driving a little car on a big track. Now I'm driving a big car on a little track. So, not only that, but now we have to figure out the setup on the car, and that's something that we didn't have to do much of on the dirt with the Legend car. I could just adjust my driving style, and away we went. But now the setup is a lot more important.
Let's bring in the man who was wearing the apron when you were running go-karts and winning class championships at Badger Raceway in Dallaston to now being your ace mechanic when it came to Legends cars, and you guys got to know them well because you won a bunch of races. Let's bring in your dad, Mike, now. And Mike, what has it been like? And you continue to open the hood, and I saw you having a bunch of racers hanging around just today looking at things and how things can move and shake. And how has your learning curve been?
Let's just be clear. I am not the ace mechanic.
The guy that's always right next to the car.
Yeah. I'm the car owner and the crew chief, and it's been difficult to say the least because, like Joe said, it's a huge learning curve. So we are relying on a lot of help from people who race late models, and we picked Pathfinder as a chassis because we know that Joe Wood knows his stuff. And they're very close in Sun Prairie, and their customer service is great. So that's why we picked that chassis, and they've been good so far. We've gotten a lot of great help from racers like Wayne Freeman, who's been around it.
Yeah.
I grew up across the alley from him
okay.
and in West Dallas, and he's been racing since he's 15, and here we are. He's over at our house helping us a lot. So we're getting a lot of help, and we're learning as we go. It's the same as Legends. No matter what division we were in, whether it's go-karts or Legends, we walk in not knowing anything, and we are sponges, especially him.
And Joe, being 16, likes to share it on social media. So on Facebook, I see, getting ready to go take our first practice laps at Slinger. Picture of the brand new race car, all pretty. Next post, I believe I read was, man, I should really have paid more attention. My neck is really sore from these first laps at Slinger. I'm kind of stiff-necked today. What has been the adjustment for you physically and in your mindset? Because you did so many things well last year, and it is a brand new deal.
Well, Slinger, it's got 33-degree banking, and, I figured out now that you just can't hold your head up when you're going on the corner. You just have to let it flop against the headrest. That's the best way to go about it. I haven't had any neck problems since then. The Legend car didn't have power steering, and I was coming into this expecting that it was going to be a lot easier to steer, and it's just the same. The features are longer. Before it was only 20 laps. Now they're 40 laps. If we do some special events at the end of the year, they're going to be all the way up to 108 laps at the short track nationals at Rockford. So that was a lot different. There's a lot more going on in the car now, believe it or not. On dirt, everyone says, elbows up, you're always up on the wheel. On turns out it's the same thing on asphalt too. You know, especially on Slinger, it's a tight quarter mile. You're always doing something. You know.
I also know Dean's been watching you. You've actually transferred from a B main to an A main, and that thrash there is to get at the tail of the A because there's that many good quality cars that run late models at Slinger. How's that going for you?
Yeah, I mean the competition is really good. All the cars are really close. You know, there's people that are really experienced. You know, Alex Prunty, Wayne Freeman, been doing it forever, track champions, and then all the way people down like me. You know, they're just starting out. And I got to work on qualifying more because, you know, don't do that on the dirt. So that's going to take us a little while to figure out. But, yeah, like I said, transferring from the B main into the A main, that was an exciting race. And our first feature, we finished 13th out of 22, I believe, out of 22 cars that qualified. This last week, weren't as lucky, didn't finish the race. We really missed the setup, and then there was oil on the track, so we weren't able to finish the race. But we'll hit it again in 2 weeks, and hopefully with some gained knowledge and gained experience, we'll be able to do a little bit better.
Joe, I'm curious to know one of the transitions that guys have going from the dirt to the pavement. You know, that you have the advantage of the car control, but you now have a spotter, and you never had a spotter before. So you got somebody chirping in your ear for that whole time. What's that been like now? A couple of weeks with somebody in your ear.
Well, yeah, that was a lot different. I mean, I was used to, you know, just calm and quiet by myself. Now I got, you know, either my dad or whoever else yelling in my ear at me, so that's different. I was fortunate enough to have an experienced spotter by the name of Christopher Weir spot me for the first couple, or my first race at Slinger actually, and he spots for guys like Austin Nason, Ty Majeski, so he's a very experienced spotter. So that was helpful to have for the first race. You know, he was able to help me with my driving line a little bit on the track and calm me down. This last week, my dad did it, and he actually did a really good job. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So you can show back up at the car, and you won't have any crosswords off mic to share with him. You're happy so far?
Yeah, I was happy with him so far. He did a good job. I was able to, you know, trust all his decisions.
Hanging out with Joe Bongiorno. Joe, you've got the car out front. I know that it's a lot different, but I hope you got some of your high school buddies still hanging out with you. Who's all helping you with the car this season?
Well, we got my buddy Chris Rice. He's always over at our house working on the car. We got my dad's cousin, well, my second cousin, Joe Vitale, up in Fond du Lac, always coming down on the weekends. Big thanks to him. My grandpa, my grandpa Ray, he's over at the house almost every day, just tinkering around. And then, of course, my dad and my mom. Big help. For our sponsors, we got Friends on Forest Home, Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar.
We are here.
We got Paul Conway Shields and Equipment, Matco Tools, Formella Enterprises, STEM 101, TW Metals, and Elmbrook Painting. Some people I'd like to thank is Jeff Witt, who's here tonight. He bought me my first set of tires. Dick Kaiser, Wayne Freeman, Mike Borchert Jr., Jeff Steenbergen at Ultimate Race Cars, Don Trimboli, my parents. By the way, happy Mother's Day to all the moms and my mom, my grandparents, and then my crew.
He's got it down. This is good. Mike, what are your expectations this year? What have you seen? What are you saying? Man, we're just taking it all in. But what do you think you can accomplish as the season goes on? Because you've got a driver here that can adapt quickly as long as everything can go to plan.
Yeah, coming in, our goals were he really wanted to try to be Rookie of the Year. That was one of our goals coming in. But as we get into the season, we see that the competition is going to be tough. I'm glad that he sets his goals high, and that I'm proud of him for that. But it's going to be a tough goal to accomplish. There's a couple of rookies out there that are very good, have some great experience at Slinger. So what I'm proud of the most is Joe and his best friend Chris and Joe Vitale. These three crew members work so hard on the car, and I love to see how they work on the chassis, communicate. When something goes wrong on the car, they get out their little smartphones and they're looking stuff up. I mean, it's amazing to watch two 16-year-old kids do what they do, and I'm just very proud of them. There's not a lot of kids who are 16 years old who do everything that they do and learn everything that they're learning and can race at this level.
Well, we appreciate all you guys do, all you've been doing, and the chapter you're taking and adapting to it. Let's give a nice hand for Joe Bongiorno, his dad Mike. Guys, we wish you the best.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you indeed. Thank you, Dean Strom, as well, for your contributions.
Thanks, Jim.
We are live at Friends on Forest Home. Thank you, guys. Make sure you sign our MB sign backdrop as well, please. We are hanging out with our friends at Friends on Forest Home, 56th and Forest Home, live tonight only. So you got to be here to have some fun. We're giving away a pair of Slinger tickets as well after the show. So by all means, come on down and join us for that. We have prizes to give away during and after the show as well, thanks to Anderson's Maple Syrup. Jeff at Friends in Forest Home has the caution special going during our show. So in between our segments during commercial, we draw a number, and that person can drink the beverage of their choice for free until the next commercial. They do that every Sunday during NASCAR races here and the caution laps as well. We are live at Friends in Forest Home. On the way, Jeff Tondrick, Scott Cuxhouse. They race on the dirt. Lee Sones will be joining us as well from PF Flyer and Premier Fabricating. Jeff races at Beaver Dam Raceway. Scott's in the Modifieds at Wilmot Raceway. Hayward Wagner is also on the way, the SCCA Director of Experiential Programs. And next up on the program is Dave Coleman, Walker Journal Sentinel Motorsports writer. Looking forward to seeing Dave and his thoughts here on the program next on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned. You're listening to us in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE-trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin.
Here we go, people. Here's the winning ticket number for the next round of free drink until our next commercial. The number is 683. 683. Blue ticket. Got to have one. I hear Yeller over by the window in the veranda there. 683. You're a winner.
Competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and they're 100% guaranteed. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jill Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Volansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
You're not like the rest. While most travel in a cage of steel on 4 wheels, you're doing without the steel and without 2 wheels. While everybody else hides behind a windshield, you welcome the push of air through your hair. You embrace the motorcycle life to the max. Well, at least you will as soon as you get your motorcycle license. And where better to start than where the records are broken and the rubber meets the legendary road course. Reserve your spot now for this 16 to 18-hour class at Road America Motorcycle School. Space is still available for the Scooter Basic Rider, Experienced Rider, Dirt Bike School, Supermoto, and the Basic Rider course. They even supply the bike. Road America is one of the largest private motorcycle training sites in Wisconsin with award-winning instructors, flexible schedules, affordable fees, and a graduation rate of 98%. Once you're done, just go to the DMV, take the computer portion, get your M stamped on your license, and you're set. You also get special dealer support incentives and a Road America t-shirt that shows you mastered your cycle class. Get ready to ride. Visit roadamerica.com for all the details today or call 1-800-365-7223. That's 1-800-365-RACE.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Friends on Forest Home in Milwaukee, on the Big 920 in Milwaukee and the Big 1070 in Madison. Stay tuned. More of the Racing Roundup Show is on the way right after this.
Macy's.
Cinco de Mayo party tonight. They have Corona buckets and Corona light buckets, hard shell tacos, soft shell tacos. The Summerfest Street Crew will be there, plus Jose Cuervo Girls from 8 to 10, live band and karaoke at 9. That's tonight. If you're activating and you're heading out, go to Polly's and have a lot of fun on Cinco de Mayo. We're having a blast here at Friends on Forest Home. This is where you can hang out each and every Sunday to watch the NASCAR races. You can hang out with us tonight. They sponsor local races. This is a really cool racing bar. It always has been. Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar. We're also happy to have on a guest. We haven't had him on in a while, but he's certainly a familiar name and a face in the world of motorsports here in Milwaukee for over 25 years. Let's welcome in Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel motorsports writer Dave Coleman. Dave, thanks for coming down to Friends and hanging out with us.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been way too long.
This is pretty cool. We're glad you're here. I thought, who should we have on at Friends? We haven't had on in a while, and your name popped up. I don't know how long it's been, but you've been covering this sport for a long time, Dave. Is it still fun? Is it still as much fun as you thought it would be when Phil Cash and the guys are like, why don't you try covering this race because I got a bowling tournament, or Roger James was busy doing something else?
Yeah, absolutely. This has been an incredible ride. This is my 26th season of doing this, which is just absolutely crazy. And it's been way more than I could have expected. I didn't know anything going in, and 26 years later, I know very, very little. But the important thing is to know what you don't know and ask people. So, no, I could not have imagined even doing this for 26 years. It's been great, and I look forward to every chance I get to go to the racetrack. Even if when the weekend's done, I say, oh my goodness, I'm too old for this stuff.
Yeah, I hear that. Now, Dave Coleman is the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel motorsports writer. That's one of the many tasks and talents you have now. The world of newspapers are changing. We want to keep motorsports coverage in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. How do we do that best as fans? Is it the online? Is it telling someone? Is it participating in the chats? How do we keep you involved in motorsports as much as we can as fans?
Yeah, you got it. Everything's about impressions, about hits, web hits, making noise. A letter helps, absolutely. Sports editors' addresses and name and address are in the paper pretty regularly. That's good. jsonline.com/auto racing gets you to the racing homepage. And we try to do an online chat, once a month, end of the month. I don't know that I'm not sure we have one scheduled at this point, so I can't tell you exactly.
Just submit a question. Dave will get to it when he does the chat. You want questions ahead of time.
Exactly. I'll let you know. You can follow me on Twitter, Dave Coleman, so that I try to, occasionally tip you off to what I'm doing. But yeah, the comments on blog posts and on stories are tremendously important. That's one of those things that people can count. And, any single Packer story probably gets more comments than I get, in a year. So you can see how that sort of stuff works. But we try hard. It's important to me to keep motorsports in the paper and on the website. So anything anybody can do, participating in the chats, the comments, all that stuff really, really helps. And I appreciate everyone who does participate, because that's what keeps me doing this. The rest of my time is spent working in the office, and that's great, and it's fun doing the paper every night. It's always something different, but so's getting out to the racetrack.
I saw you, Dave, out at the racetrack the last 2 Sundays at Slinger Speedway, and you're working on a Jerry Eckhardt story, and it got me to thinking just how much your job has changed. It's not just a notepad and a pen and a tape recorder anymore. You've got a camera, you've got blogs, you've got video now that you're rolling out. I mean, it's just your position seems like it's constantly evolving.
Absolutely, which is one of those places where sort of all these years come in handy. I can do things a lot more efficiently than I used to be able to do because I have no choice. So yeah, we're gonna. You mentioned the Jerry Eckhardt story. I think he's a fabulous story, very interesting person, one of the great characters in local motorsports. He's been doing it twice as long as I have, and I feel like I've been doing it forever. So looking forward to writing that story probably for this week. Got some great photos to go along with it, and talked to a number of drivers on Sunday, just other slinger drivers who've known him for a long time, and just had some wonderful things to say. It was really enjoyable. I look forward to. It's another challenge to put together a video. I know that's the sort of thing that Jim can do in his sleep. It takes a lot longer for me, but we try, and hopefully people enjoy it.
Dave, I've been happy to say I've been hanging around the same media-type circles you have since you came on the scene. I believe it was the infield at Hell's Corner Speedway. You're like, what's that guy? What's that car number again? But one thing stands true. You take a long time, at times, to write what you want to say, but it because you care that much. When someone comes up to you, and I want you to relay the answer that I've heard you say to others, how do I get exposure for my driver or my racetrack or where I think I want exposure? What's the best approach that young racers or established racers can provide you to perhaps cover them?
Yeah, well, I mean, it helps to have a story, something that's particularly interesting. You know, just I race and I'm fast. While that's great for the people who are really ingrained in the sport, who know it, who follow it, who go out of their way to look for everything, that's wonderful for them. But I feel like in a general interest newspaper type situation, I need to make. It's most helpful to me, it's most helpful to the paper, it's most helpful to the greatest number of readers if I can make a story interesting to somebody. The line I used forever was, if I can make my mother care, then I'm doing my job. If I can make her interested beyond, you know, the fact that my name was on this story, if it's just something she goes, wow, that's pretty cool, then I feel like I've done a great job. So I'm always willing to listen to pitches. I don't get to nearly as many as I should, but certainly you know, if you have something really, truly different, interesting to sell, hey, send me an email. You know, that's, again, the email address is in the paper and it's on the website, so I'm not that hard to find.
And I also know I saw you in the media room at Daytona, so you cover the Daytona 500 like you have been for many years, with the Wisconsin driver impacting on, hey, Johnny Sauter qualified for the Daytona 500, excuse me. I know you go to the Indy 500. You've been a slinger the last couple weeks. Where have you been this spring, and where will you hopefully break away to next to get a chance to cover some more races?
Yeah, well, that's nice. You just rattled off my schedule
but
since February.
You went somewhere, you said during commercial, you said you actually went to a track and hung out. You didn't have to write a story?
Yeah, it's actually fun. I've been to, you know, 3 different short tracks in the last 3 weekends, and that's something I haven't done for a long, long time. Got out to the Dells before their opener. I was a big fan of that show and of that concept of just having, you know, having the only game in town, having a big super late model race where people come, a good mix of drivers from all over, come together. That's what that type of racing needs in my feeling. I couldn't go cover the race, but I did get up there on Saturday and just talk to people. I don't get out enough anymore. My schedule doesn't allow me nearly the amount of time it used to get out, but it sure is fun. Go talk to people. Go see and be seen. That's important. Keep up contacts. Again, I can't spend nearly the amount of time that I wish I could, but if I can, you know, just get out there when I can. You know, I was at the Dells. Was at Madison before. Also didn't cover a race there, but got a chance to see people and say hi and meet people and see, hey, I've seen that guy race for years. I didn't know what he looked like. You know, that kind of stuff is important. So it's really, I've had more fun the last 3 weekends going to the racetrack with for the most part, no real pressure. It's been great. And you're right. Hopefully we'll be hitting Indy here in a couple of weeks, and we'll do a couple of NASCAR races and a little Road America stuff, and we'll have some fun. Hopefully we can, in addition to covering the news, the obvious stuff, we can make some interesting stories out of this all.
We appreciate you taking time on our show. How about I say for Dave Coleman, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel Motorsports writer. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks. I'm glad to be on. Hopefully we can make the break a lot shorter before the next time.
Sounds good. Dave is covering it. Again, JS Online. Go there. Click on the Auto Racing tab. That will keep auto racing coverage front and center in Wisconsin's largest newspaper, no question. And Dave's done a great job for 26 years. We're taking a commercial break. This is only our 31st season of this year's show. We're live at Friends on Forest Home. We want you to join us. We've got some great giveaways after the program as well. We're going short track racing with Jeff Tondrick, Lee Sones, and Scott Cuxos next on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned. In Milwaukee on the Big 920 on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Is your business compliant with federal and state regulations? Are you sure? Business materials containing data about your employees or customers could potentially be legal liabilities. Eliminate the risk. Get compliant and sleep better. Call Piranha Paper Shredding. Piranha Paper Shredding gives your business safe, secure, complete, and green destruction of your company's sensitive information. Piranha Paper Shredding is your information destruction expert. Safe, secure, and complete information destruction is your business's best defense. Call 800-808-6577 or visit piranhapapershredding.com.
If you want to eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races, then you should hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack. His motor coaches get the best parking spots. Let someone else worry about race traffic after the race. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Talladega, Charlotte, Joliet, Daytona, Michigan, and more. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Boring Bob has great packages for NASCAR, Winston Cup, and Busch Series events, including hotel rooms. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Winning ticket number here at Friends. I know you're getting thirsty. You can order anything you want, but if you have this number, you get to order it for free till our next commercial. Here's the blue ticket number, 691. 691. Who are you? Raise your hand, say, it's me. Mix them up. Okay. Thank you. I heard that.
Southside covered when it comes to know-how and automotive repair. Call Oak Creek Automotive at 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Fridays, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Head to Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel for all your auto repair needs.
Thank you for holding with a personal message while you wait.
Hi, this is Richard Petty from my friends at Schaefer Oil. Thank you for calling. I got them running down the person you're trying to reach. They'll be with you in just a minute. And by the way, did you know we use Schaefer's oil in our Richard Petty driving experience cars? Yeah, we love it too. Hey, hold on, and someone will be right with you. Just a minute. Thanks for calling.
With the crazy price of gas or diesel, improve your fuel mileage today with Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants. Schaefer's neutral gasoline additive can improve your mileage up to 10%, roughly 2 to 3 miles to the gallon more than you are getting right now. Schaefer's premium diesel additive improves mileage of 1.5 to 1 mile a gallon more, and it's been tested to improve diesel pickup truck mileage up to 2 miles per gallon. Schaefer's Rep Chris Hauser can get you the best deal. At $4 a gallon, you cannot afford not to call Chris Hauser. To improve your fuel mileage today, call Chris Hauser, the Racers Schaefer Specialized Lubricants rep, at 262-860-1004. That's 262-860-1004.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed every Tuesday night on the local racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports. Live on WOKY AM, the Big 920 Milwaukee, and on WTSO AM, the Big 1070 Madison. There's still time to join the racing crowd for tonight's live broadcast at Paulie's Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Dallas. Once again, here is the voice of NASCAR at the track. You hear him on MRN's NASCAR coverage and as a pit reporter on Fox Sports 1, the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our wonderful program at Friends on Forest Home. I'd like to remind you, if your vehicle has gotten the black flag, call Miller's Sales and Service. The number is 920-994-4358. Bradley and the boys have over 60 quality newer pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs specializing in General Motors products. Ask for Brad, Jerry, or Tom. That number again, 920-994-4358. Miller's Sales and Service. All their inventory is also online at millerssales.com. We've got a couple of guys, and I got actually 3 guys on our program next. They are very much tied into the local racing scene. Love to have them on the program, especially when we come back here to Friends. They know this place well. They get to hang out with Jeff and Patty and Susie, and back in the day, Freddie with Lee Sones and all the fun stuff he's had to do with Chuck Berry. And it's great to have on our next 3 guests. Please welcome them with me, Scott Cuxhouse, Jeff Tondrick, and Lee Sones. Guys, welcome to the Racing Roundup Show.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. We're going to start with you, Jeff. That fancy yellow car sitting out front here at Friends on Forest Home at 56th and Forest Home in Milwaukee. Looks pretty sporty. You said you did a lot of work to shine it up. So, A, thanks for that. And B, how's the season been going for you so far?
Well, we're just trying to survive right now. I mean, it's been a rough 2 weeks. Totally redid the car. A lot of damage. And thank you, brother, for coming out late last night. And
Bob Trado, sign writer.
Redoing a bunch of vinyl for me last minute, so I appreciate that. And we're just trying to survive. We got 2 top 5s in the features, so we'll just play it by ear, see what happens.
So Beaver Dam Raceway, a couple weeks in, 2 top 5s, and you've had some rough nights. So I imagine the competition is there, but also you're able to overcome it. Is that kind of the story so far?
We are. We bounced back. Kind of sent to the back, made our way back to the front. Just like I said, it's been a rough 2 weeks. Got bounced around a lot, and then made our way back to the front.
Last year at this time, we had you on our friend's broadcast, and you talked about getting back in and getting your feet wet and kind of getting to do it again. And sounds like things went pretty well last year in your return to racing.
They did. We finished we finished in the top 10 after like 11-year layoff. So that was a pretty good accomplishment, I figured. And this year we're starting off pretty good, pretty decent so far. Like I said, 2 top 5s, and we're shooting for that win.
Is it the same race car you worked with last year?
Same car. We just went through a bunch of stuff, had Larry Richards do some work on it for us, and then my crew, I got to thank them a lot because we spent countless hours over the winter putting this thing together, and without them, this wouldn't happen. So I got a big shout out to my crew.
And Jeff, when it comes to going to race at Beaver Dam Raceway, how much is the track changing? We've had some sprint car racers that run the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Series. They race there already this year. You get to race there each Saturday night. Is the track changes? Are you keeping on top of that? Is it still a game you're figuring out with this car?
We are, but the track seems to be changing a lot lately. A couple weeks ago, we was really, really ruddy. We didn't have that big of a problem, but a lot of the modified guys did, and a lot of cars got wrecked. And last week, they seemed to get the track a little bit better and more drivable for the guys, and it was a pretty fast track. So,
who is the competition for you this year at Beaver Dam?
Right now, the king out there is Kenny Richards. We're trying to knock him off his pedestal there. He's got 2 back-to-back wins, so we're going to start shooting for him. We're going to get the setup in the car, and we're going to try to go get him.
Jeff, hang around. We got a couple of more dirt experts here with us. I like saying experts because, Scott's been around a while, and Lee's been playing in the mud for a long time. Scott, when it comes to racing, you can still get the chance to race.
Well, it wasn't mud. It was Hales Corners.
Semi-paved oval. Yeah, not some Menards. That's what I used to call it.
Clay oval.
Yeah. Wisconsin's clay action track, something like that. I forget. I know the sign is somewhere in somebody's backyard. Nonetheless, you've had a lot of experience. We'll go with you, Lee, first here. I saw Scott race at Hills Corners a few times, a master at Wilmot Raceway. You get involved in this, Lee. You're still way involved. What's your role now in working with these guys and winning a bunch of races at Wilmot and Modifieds?
Well, we own Scott's car. He's kind of the house guy that drives the car. And then we've Chris Carlson won the championship a couple times in a row. And
with your stuff?
Yep. He's selling his car, so if anybody wants a mod. But you can't have it right away until Cameron's new car is done.
Oh, so that's the story we need to tell on the show that we shouldn't really.
Well, here's the thing, see.
You didn't want to tell it.
Chuck and I are a 2-man band, and we're getting old.
Right.
We don't move as fast. We don't work till midnight anymore.
But the cool thing
car
is,
be done.
the car will be done soon.
Yeah.
And Carlson's car's a championship pedigree. It's a fancy
right,
way to say in honor of the
he
big
was
Gulf
nice
Kentucky
enough
Derby.
to let Cameron get in it, and Cameron won a heat, broken feature, but he ran real good in the heat race.
17th in the feature, if I remember my numbers right.
Yeah, birdcage broke.
But Scott Cuxhouse, his dad did pretty good. Scott, how's your season been going so far in the PF Flyer machine?
Well, it's doing great. I mean, we had a fast car, and we came from kind of the middle of the pack and got up to the front, and did pretty good. I'm pretty happy opening night way the car came out. We did a lot of stuff over the winter, tried some different things, and accomplished that. And I think we're going to be fast all year.
And when it comes to racing with this equipment, how is it different than last year? Were you on the same program last year with the house car, if you will, for Premier?
Yes, no, we've been with Lee and Chuck and everything, and for last 5 years now.
5
yeah,
years
no,
now.
it's been a blast. It's been a blessing, and had a great time. I mean, it's been not only a car owner but a real good friend. Have a lot of fun.
And for our listeners, Scott, how long have you been racing, and how long have you been getting to race against your son in the same division?
Cameron started racing when he was 14 years old. I started when I was 14, way back then.
A couple years ago, yeah.
And it came available that Lee and I made a deal. And we drove his car, and my other car was available, so we put Cameron in, and he wound up being 14, which was ironic as the time I was. So, no, it was kind of cool, and that's kind of how it went. And now I got another one coming up, and he just turned 13, and I ain't figured this one quite yet.
They're not squeezing you out of the seat, are you, Scott? Sounds like you're still running well.
Oh yeah, I got to watch where I sleep at the house.
Okay. All right. Sleep in the race car then, right? That's the idea.
It's
Can't
safe.
steal the seat if you're in it.
Yeah.
But it has to be fun working with the experience and the great friendships you have and continuing that on. When it comes to a give and change, who makes that call? Are you way into it, Scott, or do you rely upon what Lee sees from the stands, or how does that go about on a given Saturday night at Wilmot?
It's both ways. I mean, he tells me what he sees, and I tell him how I feel it, and I mean,
and then we do it his way.
Well, Lee,
yeah, pretty much.
Speaking as a past champion at Hills Corner Speedway, and many years doing many different things, including pavement with the Artco Series, you've got to feel the seat. You've got to feel it as a driver, so you want to give him what he needs, but. How much does that change when you're not in the seat with the driver on the racetrack?
First of all, it's kind of neat because down there when the guys come in the pits, they say the track was dry, and we didn't even qualify on that good of a track at Hales. So I mean, they don't really know what dry is.
No, there's two different animals between Hales was. I mean, I had the pleasure to drive on Hales a few times, and I did pretty good, but it was I don't know. Everyone says it was always slick and all that, but the time I did good, it was pretty wet. But I'm not a dry slicker, so that's where Lee kicks all his knowledge in and helps me out.
We put our heads together, and what's really nice is we got Scott, we got Jim Morrison, we got Chris Carlson, we got Mike Learman, a younger kid coming up, but they all talk, and there's no secrets. I mean, if somebody's struggling, they'll give you the sheet. Here it is. Set your car up, and let's go see how it goes on the racetrack, and let the winner win.
Well, Scott, I'll ask a question I've asked of Jeff Tondrick here. Jeff races at Beaver Dam Raceway. You guys race at Wilmot Raceway primarily. How's the track conditions been this spring thus far?
We've only got one in, so there was their opening night was just this past weekend, and there was a lot of hearsay about how bad the track was and stuff. And overall, the Simons family that's doing a lot of work there, trying to get the track back to where it needs to be, and some of the dirt they got, the clay. Had a lot of rocks and stuff in it, so they worked extra hard, and I think there's some other people at the fair board that helped out on that too. But overall this weekend, I mean, they had a little intermission where they had to grade the track, but I thought it was a decent track.
All right. And then the expectation. Let's start with you guys because you're nearer to me. Lee, your expectation for this driver sitting next to you, Scott Cuxhouse.
Well, I'm sure he only has one, and that's winning the championship. He's won 6, so, and Chris and him, it would have been nice to see Chris come back again and have him really battle it out, because last year we didn't have Scott's car done, so so we kind of put him behind a little bit. But I'm sure Scott's going for the championship, and I'm sure Cameron is actually for the championship too. But I'm sure a top 5. He was in the top 5 last year, so I'm sure he'll shoot for that too.
And Scott, who is helping you along the way when it comes to sponsors? You mentioned a lot of crew guys that help you along the way. We can mention them again as well.
Oh no, I got some sponsors I like to say. Well, obviously Premier Fabrication with Lee here and Chuck, and then Don Collins is another guy that's been with me for forever. I mean, ASA driver, but he's a good friend and real good friend. And Sevcik Motorsports, they build the motors for both mine and Cameron's cars. Dairy Queen of Zion, Illinois.
They've been a sponsor years forever, haven't they?
Another old racer, Jake Crichton.
Yeah, Jake Crichton used to race, and then I've known him forever, and we raced together, and he became a business owner and decided to help us. So
cool.
No, that's been great. Performance Unlimited, Denny Norton, another asphalt driver and a good friend. He helps us out a lot. And then there's VMI of Antioch. Cameron works for him, and he came on board with us last year, which has helped us out tremendously, and jumped on with us again this year, so it's been really good. Felpro Gaskets, they've been with me for over 10 years. Anything I ask them for, no problem there. Good. And then another one that's not on the car, but that should be on the car, is A&A Magnetics. It's Mike Learman, and he's his son is actually one of the other cars that bought my old car and bought another brand new one this year. And he's helped us out a lot with a lot of parts and a lot of things. So, but the sponsors are very needed and very welcomed and thanked. Thank you.
I'm sure you can find them you can find you guys at Friends on a given occasion, right? This is a place you guys like to hang out in. They put some effort toward you. So are you guys here often? Are you guys here shooting darts Tuesday nights? What do you guys? When can they swing by and see the big team here at Friends?
I think Chuck handles that part for us.
All right, so he's got a stool with his name on it over here, like Norm kind of thing.
Norm.
All right.
No, Chuck's got a stool there.
More than okay.
There.
Hey, there's Chuck right there.
Hey.
He's standing. What's up?
I've seen you.
Must not have been his favorite stool when he got here. That's okay. Great crowd here tonight at Friends.
Yep.
Jeff, we also want to make sure we get your sponsors exposure as well for all you're doing here at Beaver Dam Raceway.
Yeah, like Scott said, it's very hard to do this sport without sponsors, and we appreciate a lot that he's
companies step up and help us out. It's a very expensive sport, as you all know. I'd like to thank ADC, Doormaster, Route Washer, North Star Automotive Group, Long Shots, Scooters, NNS Towing, Bottoms Up, CNS Performance, of course Jeff and Patty here at Friends for putting us on and helping us out this year again. And just a couple of personal sponsors, some friends of mine that just stepped up and, hey, I want to help you out. I thank Matt and Doreen and Art, called Big Daddy Racing. That's what he wanted to be called, so that's what we got put on the car. So, like I said, without them, it's very hard to do. So we thank you a lot for that.
Got some great friends along the way. Lee, I know you're itching. You're at the microphone. He does some microphone stuff on occasion.
I want to just personally thank Jeff and Patty from Friends. They've supported us, and I mean,
thank you.
Really, you know, they've come and supported us, and yet we race ways away, just like Jeff does too. It's not like it used to be at Hales where you could come here after the races, and not that we ever did.
No. Yes, you did. Every time I walked in with Tom Klippel looking for his 7-ounce tap of Pabst, you guys were here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great name, Tom Klippel. I used to just love sitting right here and talking with Tom.
He would hold court.
Especially if the girls came in with their strappy sandals.
Ah, really? I thought the secret to Tom was going to the church festivals on Friday to get the goods on what he can say on the PA on Saturday. Neil.
When you tell Tom a story and then he'd go, "Oh wow, I wish I could use that."
He used a lot of them. A lot of fun. A lot of memories. Hey, guys, thanks for being on. We wish you the best this season. Let's give a nice hand to Liso and Scott Cuxhouse and Jeff Condor. Guys, thanks for being on the show. Supported by Friends. Support them as well when you go to the racetrack. They're great guys, and glad you guys spent some time and coming out and joining us. And Jeff, thanks again for bringing that spanking, shiny, fancy race car with you as well. We wish you guys both the best this Saturday night. There'll be an action at dirt tracks at Wilmot Raceway and at Beaver Dam Raceway. We're going to come back and talk about some experiential programs you can get involved in, especially at the Milwaukee Mile. It's called the SCCA Track Night America, driven by Tire Rack. We're talking to the director of that program, Hayward Wagner, next on the Racing Roundup program. We're live at Friends on Forest Home. Come on down and join us. We've got some free food still available, I believe. Great giveaways after the program, and a great time every time you walk into Friends on 56th and Forest Home. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee on the Big 920, and on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters.
All right, here we go, friends. The trophy is going to this here ticket number. Blue ticket, 698. 698. You get to enjoy a beverage of your choice until 7:30, because this is our last time. We're not going to talk about commercials. So until 7:30, or they yank the trophy on you. 698, where are you? Got to be here. 698, trophy was right there. Where'd you got it, Bruce? Right here? All right. Do we have a winner? Jeff, did you see him? Okay. Thank you.
ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. There are no returns policy to make sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Friends on Forest Home is the new name for BB Rubbles at 56th and Forest Home, and the tradition of the trophy is back. When there's a caution flag during Sunday NASCAR races, if your number's drawn, you get the trophy and drink for free until the next caution flag. New owners Jeff and Patty are carrying on the NASCAR tradition in a remodeled, fun atmosphere with $2 tappers and beer bucket specials during the races. Friends on Forest Home at 56th and Forest Home wants to sponsor your league team. See Jeff for details. Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar is now called Friends on Forest Home.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel are experts in automotive repair. From minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. For 23 years, Oak Creek Automotive has Milwaukee's South Side covered when it comes to know-how and automotive repair. Call Oak Creek Automotive at
411-Power.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Friends on Forest Home in Milwaukee, on the Big 920 in Milwaukee and the Big 1070 in Madison. Stay tuned. More of the Racing Roundup Show is on the way right after this. Dawson.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks for being on the program. Great show tonight. Can't thank our friends at Friends enough. Next week, Tuesday night, we've got a great show for you. We're back at Paulie's. Greg McCarnes will preview the Friday night weekly shows under the NASCAR sanction at Madison International Speedway, starting up the following Friday, May 16th. We'll also have Jeff Fisher, a friend of mine who shoots a lot of video, grandstand video, a lot of stuff at Wilmot, a lot of IRA. Now he's getting to travel a bit for USAC and for Speed 51. We're going to catch up with Jeff as well as what he's doing with the camera to help support short track racing. We're also going to have on the winner this past Saturday night at 141 Speedway, Charlie Cincinnati, the reigning Grand National Champion there. We're going to talk to Charlie on the program at Paulie's. And next week we're also talking sprint cars, 360 style with Al and Danny Schlafer, the father-son duo. They know how to win races. They've been doing it for a long, long time. That's next week, Tuesday, here on the Racing Roundup program. This portion of the Racing Roundup show is brought to you by Borchert Speed Automotive, Wisconsin's largest speed shop at 6101 South 27th Street in Greenfield. Borchert's 34th annual Father's Day Car Show is a must-see event in Milwaukee, with over 500 of the area's finest show cars expected at Borchert Speed Automotive on Father's Day, Sunday, June 21st. We are now joined by a gentleman here on the program who is going to be busy come May 14th. He's busy actually throughout the Midwest with a program that SCCA is introducing called Track Night in America, presented by Tire Rack. Let's welcome in the Director of Experiential Programs for the SCCA. We want to welcome in Hayward Wagner. Hayward, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
Wonderful. Come May 14th, you're going to invite a whole bunch of folks that may not have even seen a race car to the track. How can we help spread the word on what you're doing there at the mile?
You know, this is a new program for us, and really this is about access. You know, I think the shortest way I can explain it is motorsports is very unique. It's the only recreational activity that I can think of that you're expected to compete just to be involved in. No one asks you to do that in snow skiing. Nobody asks you to do that in any other thing that I can think of. And we're trying to build a recreational component that allows people just to come have fun with cars.
And when it comes to that, I mentioned from our brief conversation yesterday to confirm this that you're busy doing things at Groton, Blackhawk Farms. This is a way for folks to bring a helmet and their street car to get acclimated with how things can be fun at the racetrack without the big investment of having to buy a race car or tow a car to the racetrack, correct?
Yep, I'm standing on the front straight at Blackhawk Farms right now at one of our events, and probably a $90,000 Mercedes just passed probably a $4,000 Miata. You know, it doesn't take a race car. It doesn't take a 3-day school. It's just, I've got a car. You can buy a helmet from us as part of your registration process. You need a valid driver's license. We'll even sell you insurance to put your car on track. And this is a chance to, you know, maybe you've got an FRS or a BRZ, or maybe you've got a Camaro or a Mustang, but you've got something that you've never really been able to feel what it can do. We want to give you an environment where you can do that.
And admission is free, I believe, for those who just want to come and hang out and check things out. Is that the case, or do you have to be a participant to be around the cars?
You know, I think the person who's most excited to be here tonight is a 9-year-old little girl who's walking around with her dad's phone as a camera and a notebook. And they came in free of charge. They got to take some pace laps. He got to drive her around on the track. She got to see the whole thing. There's a lot of grins here tonight. I don't think there's one bigger than hers.
When it comes to the SCCA Track Night in America, driven by Tire Rack at the Milwaukee Mile on May 14th, how can folks find out more information now to sign up to be part of that?
Sure. The May 14th event is a bit of a unique event for us, and it's really an exciting thing for us. Milwaukee Region SCCA has been doing what they call Thursday Night Thunder for a number of years, and we're getting involved with their events with Track Night, helping them with some marketing and getting the word out. But you can enter that event, get information about it at that event by going to tracknightinamerica.com. You can also go to the Milwaukee Regions page of the Sports Car Club of America, which is linked from there to get more information. And through that Track Night page, you can learn about our events at Groton. You can learn about our events at Gingerman. We are at 20 tracks across the country, 86 dates this summer.
Wow.
Once a month at every track.
And I believe you're making a return to Blackhawk Farms where you are right now in June. What kind of special incentive do you have for the listeners to do that program?
You know, if you've never been to Blackhawk Farms, it is a special, special racetrack. It's a beautiful location. The owners here have done an amazing job. We have all of our novice meetings around a little gas log fire in the pavilion space. Yeah, as far as incentives, you mentioned we're working on a deal right now to put some coupons out for this program. If you're a college student, we've got a coupon code right now that you can use that's college in capital letters that will give folks $75 off. So you can come out and get 3 25-minute sessions as a college student here for $75.
So I have to be 18 years of age with a valid driver's license, have access to a helmet and street car in good working condition. You mentioned there's Mercedes and other cars out there. You don't have to have a big fancy car. It's just a way to enjoy a track and go, you know what? I want to see how fast I can go maybe on the straightaway, but it's not about that. It's about experiencing all the fun things in a great grassroots level that the SCCA is behind. And Hayward, we can't thank you enough for spending the few moments with us. Again, May 14th. You want to go to tracknightamerica.com. I believe that is the website to go to. Is that correct, Hayward?
That is it. And, like you said, this is a chance just to put a grin on your face. There's no competition. It's just going out, doing some laps, seeing what your car can do. And if you don't want to go out and drive your car in a heated environment, as it were, 6 o'clock we do pace laps. You can go out, take your kid out on track, take your mom, take your spouse, take whoever you want, and show them what that environment is about in a completely safe and controlled manner.
As you mentioned, extremely safe environment. SCCA cares first about safety, and the corner workers that you have at Blackhawk and everywhere you go are some of the best when it comes to care and making sure it will be safe for you to get on track, no matter the speed you want to go. How about I stand for Hayward Widener? Hayward, thanks for coming on the program. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Again, the website to go to is tracknightamerica.com. In the final 25 seconds, we want to thank Jeff and Patty here at Friends. How about I stand for our hosts? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great supporters of racing. Come on down. It's Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar. We've had a great time this evening. Great guests here. We're back at Pauly's next week. Enjoy your Cinco de Mayo. We've got some Cinco de Frenzo prizes to give away right now. Stick around for that if you're in the audience. If you're not, we'll see you next Tuesday at Pauly's. Until then, have at it, racers.